Hello, and welcome to my music classroom. I am Kim Mills, and I am a music instructor. I teach fourth and fifth grade general music. I teach middle school choir and high school choir, and I am super excited about all of the learning that took place for me over the summer. In my Emphasis One course, I had one 3-hour course, and I am going to share my screen so that you can take a look with me. Here we go. Actually, let's just share the entire screen. All right, there we go. So in my learning contract for Emphasis One, I took a course called Using AI to Support Teaching and Learning in the Music Classroom. My primary objective was to learn how to plan and prepare for self-directed learning in these classrooms. And I'm super excited because before this year, I would not have been able to implement these tools. It's just starting this year that our students will be one-to-one with their computers, and so they will have the tools that they need, and I will have the tools that I need to allow them to take part in this type of learning. So here are some things. First of all, the overview of the course was using AI tools to help with workflow, lesson planning, using a strategy to effectively manage students' use of the AI tools, and then AI tools to engage students while differentiating and personalizing the learning content. Some of the things that I did as a result of my study, one thing, learning the resources that are available. I did create what's called a digital resource center, and I'll open that up here for us. It has an introduction here. I sent this to my colleagues already. I did email this out to several people like me who maybe are just starting on this journey and haven't had a lot of experience with using AI in the music classroom. So I have an introduction about that, 10 best strategies for using AI in the classroom. Here I have some articles. Most of them are specifically for music educators, but there are several ideas here on how to quickly get started using some of these AI tools. And then here I have mostly AI tools that are used for oral skills training. This is the area that I am really looking at this fall. In fact, it will be part of my action research and testing a certain AI tool that will help my students who are committed to extra learning to see if these AI tools can help them with increasing their oral skills to the point of being able to sight read well. One of the things that my students will need to do if they want to be selected for district choir here in this area or state choir, they will need to not just sing their part well, but they'll need to learn to sight sing. And that is a skill that it's a learned skill for most people. There are some students that just have that innate ability, but even someone with the ability and the ear for music still needs to know how to read these abstract symbols and to be able to do what we call audiate. And that means they hear the pitches in their head and they're able to look at pitches and hear how that song goes just by looking at it. They're hearing it in their head and they're able to replicate that vocally. And so that is definitely something that I am excited about using my AI training here to get them started. One of the problems with a music educator who's a choir teacher is the choir class alone is just not enough time for me to teach the repertoire, teach the students how to use expressive tools as they're singing, how to really communicate with in their performance, and then also do oral skills training. There's just not time for all of that. So I'm excited once again to supplement my teaching with these tools. Another thing I have on my resource page here is tutorials that those who are brand new to using AI can just click on one of these tutorials and they go along with the AI tools that I have on the technology page. And then there's some final thoughts on that. Another area that I focused on in this course was creating lesson plans. And here, part two, I have a Beethoven unit, which includes 3 lesson plans for my younger students, my 4th and 5th graders, who are learning more about Beethoven. And there are several tools that they will be introduced to in these unit plans that have to do with creating their own music. It has to do with having their own music put into a tool called Songscription and having that tool notate their piece that they wrote. There's also a super fun thing called Character AI that will allow us to interview Beethoven, and this program will respond to our questions as if it's Beethoven, not just giving the dialogue, but actually giving the setting, maybe telling us what Beethoven's face looks like as he is responding to our questions. It's a super fun way for the students to interact and learn. So much more fun than me telling them, and I'm sure they will retain what they've learned doing it that way. Part 3 shows some of the things that I was looking at as far as using AI to support student learning. I have 3 things that I was diving into: Magic School AI, DFIT, and Khan Academy. And then part 4 has some things that I will be looking at using to just data to inform instruction. I'll use these things here to do that, and be able to track what my students are learning and how they're learning and different things like that. So let me take you quickly to my Masters of Education portfolio. Here is my homepage. And on this page, I have one of my favorite verses, which is, "So whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as unto the Lord," which is my life theme. And of course, I have a little bit about me here, how long I've been teaching, and the different things that I have done throughout my career. Following that is the learning outcome 1 is one of the outcomes that connected to my learning this summer. Here I have the Digital Resource Center linked, and the fact that I created that as part of just being innovative and finding solutions to help my students learn. Then we have dynamic learning leadership, which learning outcome 2 also connected to what I did this summer. And here I have the activity of the Beethoven unit, and I've linked it here. And I have mentioned the different online sources that the students will be engaged with as they learn more about Beethoven and his music. The next 3 I have yet to connect to my learning, so we'll skip those for now. My professional digital footprint, of course, contains my blog called Mills Musical Minute. And here it is. And here are the different blog posts that, of course, we all have done in the last several weeks. And then back to the badges and certificates. I have a certificate that I created while I'm waiting for the one that is coming from my Teacher's Track course, that 3-hour course that I just took you through. Then we have professional standards, and I have linked here the ISTE standards for all educators, as well as 3 different standard groups from National Association of Music Education, the Kansas Music Educators Association standards, which actually are the Kansas Department of Education standards. Those are actually one and the same, but you can find them both places, the standards for Kansas. And then the professional networks that I am involved with currently are the Kansas Music Educators Association and the American Choral Directors Association. And finally, the resources page, one of my very favorite pages, shows several tools, teacher help tools. Canva and Dropbox are things that I have used extensively already. Microsoft is something, of course, my school uses Microsoft, and so that's something that I have been working to learn more so that I can be more effective at using our tool. We have Canvas is something we already use here at my school as well. And my students are using that, and we're all learning how to be more efficient at that. And then you can see some other things here. Also in the middle, I have music writing and oral training, oral skills training tools. MuseScore, Music Quest is for elementary students. Songscription is one of the things that I have already connected to my Beethoven lesson. And then I have several resources for students. Some episodes from YouTube. This is one of my favorites. This Inside the Orchestra has music bingo using orchestra instruments, and they have to identify either the look or the sound of their instrument in order to get an X on their square. So super fun things. There's Khan Academy. Polytonus 1, 2, and 3 are very in-depth oral skills training tools that I want to send students who want more motivation. This would be for students that really maybe they're going to go into music as a career. These are not just for the average high school choir student, but the ones who are really seeking more training for themselves. And then here is Earmaster, which is the AI tool that I am piloting with a small group of high school students this year as they are preparing to sightsing and just increasing their oral skills. And that is the one that we'll be using. And then there is Chet app and Character AI. And if anyone loves music and wants to learn their own personal training and then compete against other people, this is a whole lot like Duolingo, but it's for musicians. So that is for Apple products, so your iPhone or for your iPad. So those are super fun. So I hope you have a chance to come and dig around on my site and maybe see some of these things for yourself. And I plan to do that also looking at your portfolios when I get a chance. And I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to everything that I have shared tonight. And everyone have a great evening, and thanks again. Bye-bye.